Welcome back to the JavaScript channel. Today we're going to be building this FAQ accordion. If you're new here, hi, my name is Zoe. I'm a software engineer and former university professor who loves to teach folks how to code. If you're interested in learning how to code, you can check that first link in the description. But without further ado, let's hop into day 2 of the challenge. All right, so the page that we're going to be building here, the component, is just this like FAQ accordion. When you click on it, it drops down. Pretty simple design. Grabbed it from Frontend Mentor over here. And again, it's one of the free challenges. So if you want to do this and follow along, you can definitely do that. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I think this is a great portfolio piece because it just shows you it's something you can add to other projects as you build out your portfolio. So let's get started. All right. First things first, I've started up an app already, and we have our little homepage there. I'm using my Next.js app starter, so Material UI, Next.js, and TypeScript, but you can definitely do it with JavaScript as well. And yeah, you can grab that on my GitHub account. So first things first, as always, I'm going to create a components folder. And let's take a look at the design. So we're going to need, we have this like general background here, and then we have our actual FAQ container, and then the actual questions. Okay, I'm not going to focus too much on the background to start with. I want to start with the FAQ container. So let's do FAQ container. And then I'm going to create, save that, and then I'm going to create a question accordion. Let's go accordion. Yeah, let's do question accordion. Okay. And whoops. Cool. And what else do I need? We'll start with that and then we'll move on from there. All right, so first thing we need is the FAQ container. I'm going to bring that into our app. I've also downloaded the starter code from Frontend Mentor, not really because I wanted to start with their like HTML file, but because to grab their images. So we might use some of those in the build. But first, let's drop in the FAQ container here. Cool. And we should be seeing that. Perfect. Seeing that up there. Awesome. And then I'm just going to center it. Oh, you know what? I also need to modify this. I have these like default styles that I need to take care of. Let's say go HTML body padding 0. Go margin. I'm just doing a bit of a reset here so that we don't have that weird like extra padding. You can also do this using a reset CSS file or something like that. And so then now for this, I'm going to say height, view height, width is 100 view width. Okay, and then we're going to say display flex. And then we're going to say justify content center. Oh, interesting. Okay. I'm going to say align items center. Overflow. None. Because we're just building like a singular component here. If this was a larger web page, I wouldn't put overflow none or things like that, but just a literal singular component should be okay. Oh no, it's still overflowing. Overflow, or no, it's overflow hidden. Very important that you use the right properties, and that still might not fix it. Yeah, let's try putting it on here. Let's say overflow hidden. Where is that coming from? It's the body. Okay, so maybe I should set the body to 100 view height. Height 100 view height. And then if I change my box, so it's not 100 view height. There we go. Okay, cool. So we'll set the body to 100 view height. And then my box now is going to be, okay, so it's short now. So let's say height. Let's try 90 view height. Let's say 95. Okay, cool. Good enough for me for now. So we have our container centered on the page, and now we want this like pink situation for the background. So let's see what colors we're working with. It's like a light pink. Yeah, it looks like a light pink. So I'll grab that for the background color. So we'll set that for our like global background color. Say background color is going to be this. I don't even know if it took. It's so light. I don't think that's the right. Is that the right one? Yeah. Let's try it here. Oh, you know what? It wouldn't take because this is so large. There we go. Okay, cool. So we'll get rid of that. But that means we do need to fix the padding. Let's see. Body. We say margin 0. Okay, body margin should be 0. Maybe I need to put in globals. There we go. All right, cool. So we have our background, and that is set. Now we can actually make our container's background white. So we'll do that. We'll say container. We're going to use a box for Material UI. And we'll say box. We'll say background color white. Cool. And then we'll say padding. Let's do like 2 rem all around. Cool. Let's do some border radius of like 2 rem all around. Cool. And then now we need to add in all this information. All right, so we have like our header, our FAQ header at the top here. So we'll use a typography element for that. And the reason I'm changing these is just so I don't get the use client error here. So within our typography element, we're going to say FAQs. Oops. FAQs. And we'll say variant equals H1. Cool, good enough for me. And then we're going to do these questions, add these in here. Okay, so let's see, what's the best way to do this? Probably create some sort of JSON with the question and the answer. That might be the best way to do this. Okay. Let's do another folder, data, and then we'll do a new file. We'll call it data.json. And then in the data.json file, we're going to say const data equals, or sorry, we'll just say actually, no, let's not put it, we'll put it in a data.json after. Let's just finish building it up first. All right, so we have our question accordion. And what we're going to do, we're going to use some mock data for now. We're going to say const question answer equals an array of objects where the question is going to be what is front-end mentor and why will it help me? And the answer is going to be this one here. And we'll just use that for now. And we'll create, oops, create 3 of those, 4 of those, 3 more. Perfect. All right, cool. So we have our mock data there. Then what we want to do for question answer, we want to map over each QA. And for each QA, we want to return a question accordion. And we're going to pass QA. There must be a better way to call this, but we're going to pass QA to that. And then we're going to say the key equals QA, oops, QA dot question. Cool. Then now it's giving me an error because I haven't explicitly said we need to accept that. So we'll say question answer, say interface props, and we'll say question, oops, question answer is going to be, it's going to have a question that is a string, oops, string, and an answer that is also a string. And that's going to be the prop type here. And again, if you're doing this with just JavaScript, you don't need to worry about this piece right here. All right, now it's giving me an arrow. Yep, I did mean QA. Thank you. Okay. Cool. So that seems to be working. There we go. Question accordion, question accordion. Now here, let's make it a box as well. We are going to display our questions. So it's the tricky bit with accordions is that, you know, you're displaying this and then on click you display more. So it's a bit of a CSS challenge in that sense. I mean, most of these are CSS challenges because we're doing web dev, but yeah, it's a CSS challenge in that sense. So let's start by displaying the question. So we'll say typography. And we'll say, we're going to say question. I'll say question. Cool. So that's one. And then we'll say, we'll do another one for the answer. Cool. So how do we want to do this? We want to say, oh, we need the button, right? The button is going to be next to the question. So we'll probably wrap this in a box. Oops, box. And we'll say, do a button. Import button from material / button. And actually, this is going to have to be a client component anyway. But all right, cool. So we have our button, and then just fix up the style a little bit. Good. And then I'm going to wrap the answer in a box as well. I'm going to give it a fixed width so it doesn't go across the whole page. 520. Cool. And that's sort of like the basic gist of it. Now we need to hide this unless clicked. So I think what I'm going to do for this, I'm just going to use state. I'm just going to say like use state and just show it or hide it based on whether or not the button has been clicked. So we're going to say const show answer set show answer, use state false. We're going to start with false. And then I think I'm gonna have to change to a client component. Use client. Okay. And then if true, we can set the display to be true. So we'll say display should be show answer. Or not display. Display display should be show answer. If true, display flex. If false, display none. It's either none or hidden. Okay, cool. And then on click, we're going to just set it to be set show answer to be the opposite of show answer. Okay, cool. So awesome. Now we have it showing. Perfect. So that's basically the gist of the accordion, but we can make it a little bit nicer now. So if you were just here for the logic, that's the logic, but let's make it a little bit more stylistic right now. So first things first, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to set a fixed size for this. So let's do 600 by 565. That's going to help with the jumping up and down. So this is this box. So I'm going to say width. What was it? 600 by 565. Cool. And that's going to be the fixed size. So now you see it's not jumping up and down anymore, which is great. Then they appear to be centered. The questions at least appear to be, are they centered? Yeah, somewhat centered in the, on the question itself. So I guess we'll say they're not really centered though, are they? They're just, they don't take up the whole width. Yeah, because this is not centered. Oh, you know what it is? The component is centered. The pieces are spaced between. That's what needs to happen. All right. And it should be flex. No. That's fine. Space, justify content, space between, and then we're going to say width, oops, not width, it's going to be 500 pixels. We'll do more than that, we'll do 540 pixels. Or put it to 2 rem on each side. It's 32, 32. All right, let's do 500 pixels. What I think I need to do is add there we go. So now it's all in line. Cool. Or maybe we just don't need that much padding. We could do maybe 1 rem, and then 30. Leave it at 2 for now. Okay. So we have that. Oh, and you know what? This now. Justify content center. Ooh, do I need justify content center? Width. I think I need it here. Flex direction is going to be column. I'm going to also say align items to the center. Okay, not bad. What's going on here on the right? Okay, let's make it 35. I'm just gonna make it a little bit wider. One round. I'll say that at 2. Maybe there's just no margin left on this one. Okay. Cool. What else? Still don't love that extra like little padding there on the side. I think it's just because it's not wide enough, right? 37, 39. Anyhow. All right, so we need to remove the margin here. Oh, you know what it is? It's just not wide enough. And I think that's probably part of the problem. We need to just have a set width for everything. So we can say const width equals this, and then we'll just change it in one place. Oops. Not good to change it. Oh, just those 2 spots. Cool. Awesome. All right, so yeah, the next thing we're gonna do is just fix up the styling a little bit. So let's take a look at this a little bit more closely. So there's a hover state. This is actually a different color. This is a pale purple color, so we can already start just by setting that. So we'll say for our typography here, the answer, we're gonna say color is that. So that'll give that a nice color. Awesome. We're gonna actually make this a little bit more bold. So we'll say font weight for that. We'll put it to 600. We'll save that. And then we'll say, we'll say comma and, yeah, comma and hover. We're gonna say the color should be this pink, as they call it. And hover color is going to be that. Awesome. And then, okay, so then on click, we want to change, first of all, we want to set the background color of this. So let's fancy up this button a little bit. So we'll say background color is going to be that same pink. And then we're going to say, okay, border radius is going to be 50%. Make it a, oh, nope, Let's say 50%, then we'll change the width. We're gonna say width is 1 rem. Let's take a look at this. Actually, you know what? I might just use a regular button so I don't have to fight with Material UI. Oh, no, but I want to use CSS Pro. all right. We'll fight with it. We'll fight with Material UI. All right. There we go. We'll say 2 rem. Say maybe 3 rem. All right, 2 rem. And we'll say min height is going to also be 2 rem. What else? Padding is 0. All right, cool. That looks pretty decent for me. So we have the buttons, and then we're gonna say, and on hover, we want the background color to be, I think it's black, right? Or is it like dark purple? Sorry. It's gonna be dark purple. Okay, cool. And then we want the actual color of the text to be white regardless. So color, cool. We'll save that. All right, awesome. Not looking too bad. So then now on click, so if show answer is true, we then want it to stay on black. So say background color, we'll say if show answer is true, and not black, sorry, dark purple, we want it to be dark purple. If show answer is true, be dark purple, else be pink. So boom, and it stays. Awesome. Last thing we want to do here is if show answer is true, we want to display, if show answer is true, we want to display a minus, else we want to display a plus. So I'll probably have to put those in quotes. So it's like show less, show more. Show less, show more. So that was really quick there. And yeah, I think we can just do up the styling a little bit better now. So let's just make some more space. So when it's open, that's a good amount of space. I think what I want to see generally is just a little bit more space between the questions. So there, it looks like there's some padding, and that there's actually like a dotted line, I think. Is that a dotted line? Or no, just a regular line between each question. So I guess you can say, is it on the bottom only or on the top? Let's say border bottom 1 pixel solid and then light pink. And again, I think if you're doing this for a portfolio project, you should really spend the time to make, like an individual color styles file and things like that, because you're just doing this really quickly for the purposes of a tutorial. Not strictly necessary, but still would recommend it. And then we're gonna say padding, top bottom 1 rem and 0 left and right. I think we could even maybe get away with 2 rem. .5 rem. We'll say margin top 1 rem. Cool. And that looks pretty decent, I think. I think I might add a little bit more space underneath margin bottom, the question. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that looks pretty decent. What else can we add? Let's see if we can add in this little star and fix up the background. So the star should be in this images folder. Oh, they even have icons for the plus and minus. We made our own. Background pattern, icon star. So this must be it. So we'll go back to our FAQ container next to our FAQs, and then I'm going to need to import an image or use an image from Next component. We'll say source equals, let's copy the relative path, put it there. I think it's just /images. And we're going to say the height is 35, height is 35, width is also 35, and we're going to call alt equals star icon. We're going to save that. Let's see. There it is. Awesome. Cool. So then I'm just going to add, how should we do this? We'll add a little padding, margin to the right. Yeah, we'll say style equals margin right. We'll do 1 rem. We'll save that. Awesome. Looks pretty decent. The last thing we're going to try and do now is adding in this like background situation here. So let's see what that gives us. So we have our background pattern. Oh, it's just desktop and mobile. Okay, cool. Copy the relative path for that. And we're going to want to do that on our actual page itself. So if we go back to our app and go to our page, we'll say we have the FAQ container, and then we have the box that's holding everything in. We want this background image to be on the top half. So we could just do another box and absolute position it. Box. Or we just do the image and absolute position it. Try that. Alt equals background image width. What is the width? Because it wants like actual width. 1440. Height is 320. We'll say that. Okay, not terrible. I'm going to say style, equals top 0. Oh no, I think I need to say position absolute first. Okay, perfect. And then we're going to say z index -1. Is that? No. Z index of 1. And then maybe I change the z index of the container. Oops. To like 5. Awesome. That's pretty much it. And again, we could do more semantic things. We can put the data from here into a data.json, things like that. And these are things I would recommend doing if you're building it as a portfolio piece. As we're going through this challenge, sometimes it's better to just push out as many projects as you can, learn and iterate and really get them finished. But, if once you go back and you want to clean them up and actually submit them for some jobs, I think it'd be really helpful to move this information into a data.json, maybe clean up the components a little bit. And yeah, but that's our FAQ accordion component. Hope you enjoyed today's challenge. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Check out that subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this, and stay tuned for the rest of our challenge videos. As I said, I'll link all of those videos up here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.